The amount of it's infinity me. And now nobody's gonna come back. All right, so I'm looking at it on my computer, and everything seems fine, as you can see right here. And on my phone, it looks fine. Just for some reason, on my TV, it's a problem. So I'm going to assume it looks fine everywhere. I mean, I know some people do watch on their TVs like I do. I wouldn't want it to look like crap on there. So that's why I was worried about it. Because basically what I was seeing is, well, this stuff's getting in the way, but like this logo here, like the logo here and the like, comment, subscribe thing, have like blocks around them that look like crap, you know, basically showing the actual asset against the black background. and they're all like super pixelated and stuff. It looks really bad. So yeah, I was thinking that had something to do with the dual streaming to Twitch and everything, which unfortunately it looks like everything's fine, and I turned off the dual output. Can I turn it on? Cannot toggle dual output while live. Well, gosh darn it. I mean, not that Twitch is a big platform for me anyways, but still, it would be kind of cool to be able to, even though it's in vertical, be able to run the stream on both my YouTube and Twitch channels at the same time without having to pay for Streamlabs Pro. Did anyone even tune into that? I don't think so. Yeah, nobody even looked at it on Twitch. But it would be cool to have the presence. Eventually, I might actually, gotta fix this real quick. Eventually, I might actually get Streamlabs Ultra. How much it is, actually. So I did a pretty big reorganization over here. I have a desk. I posted the photo on my Instagram, instagram.com/rivalindigo. But basically, I have this little desk area where my computer and my microphone and stuff are set up, and then the L shape, the long part of the L, essentially, was kind of covered in stuff, and basically like unusable. So I ended up like doing like a bunch of like cleaning and organizing so I could move stuff from where I was using my laptop and everything out of the way and like reset everything up. So it's a lot nicer now. Yeah, I don't need this. Wait, what? Didn't even know that was a thing. Multi-stream. That's the main thing. So I don't really care about like the scene overlays and things like that. The main thing I would want to use is the multi-stream. Okay, but what does it cost? That's what we need to know. Well, I don't want to log in. How much does it cost? Holy crap. $19 a month. I don't know about that. If I started making money doing this, maybe I'd be like, all right, let's be everywhere. Yeah, I have been quite inconsistent, unfortunately, with the streaming and the content. I was doing pretty good there for a minute, so kind of interesting to see the delay. Yeah, everything looks good there. So I guess we're good. I guess I could have left on the dual streaming, dual output. Do, 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 do. See what we got going on here. AFO, I forget what that is.
A UFO is said to be imitating a star in this clip recorded over Tennessee. The video was recorded on a night camera just after midnight. A nice clear sighting for a change. The video lasts 10 minutes in total, so the clip has been sped up.
I've seen one like that.
3 individual points of light float over a Disneyland show. Each light appears to have independent movement, so we can rule out a triangular-shaped craft. This can be seen better with stabilization.
That's actually okay. I want to go back to that.
10 minutes in total.
This is exactly what
A nice
I have seen before. That's not what I'm looking for. What would happen if I full screen this? That looks hilarious. I guess that is something I could do. I'd have to remove the LCS thing on the bottom. But that could be viable, actually. I like having the side of the the side of the window for chat and everything, though. Anyways, so what they show this this UFO do, and they say it's sped up because it was, quote, imitating a star. This is the one I saw. This was back in 2000. What was it? 2011, I believe. My ex and I actually watched a UFO do something very similar to this. Back in Nam. Did you see when I full screened the video? It actually doesn't look too bad except for the LCS logo at the animation at the bottom because it leaves a black block there. But if it was like transparent, it would actually work pretty good with the chat on the side of the screen and the Rival Indigo logo at the top. If I full screen a video, it takes up the whole frame. It still has my graphics there, but it actually doesn't look too bad. But in 2011, I was in Boise, Idaho. And I actually looked it up too. I forget the webpage I found, but somebody else actually reported similar UFOs on the same night that my ex and I actually saw them. Whoa. Bumping the desk here. Anyways, the UFO I saw, it was kind of like a series of sightings or an extended sighting over the course of the evening, starting probably about 7:30 or so in the evening. As I had a job where I drove around town making these like picking up donations for like local events and stuff. And so I was like I knew the roads, I knew the sky pretty well. Like I was very used to just driving around and seeing this town, like what was in the sky. And I remember sitting at a certain light that was on kind of at the crest of a hill. And we're sitting there, and when you looked up at the traffic light, there was a star in the background. But I remember looking at it, and I turned to my ex, and I was like, hey, that's not a star. Or no, wait. I said, like, that star is too close. Because it was one of those things where, like, you could tell it was a lot closer to you than you know, a star in the sky would be. And it was kind of orangish, a little, like, pale orangish versus, like, you know, the regular point of white light. And I remember just looking at it going, that's a lot closer than it's supposed to be. And she looks at it and she goes, yeah, that's really weird. And then just before the red light turned and we started to move, it started to move. Like, it was sitting there motionless, and then it started to move slightly, and then I had to drive. So I like lost track of it. I couldn't watch it anymore. I was like, yo, did you see that? That's crazy. And she's like, yeah, it started to move. So it was like me and another person seeing this. So it like kind of confirmed it to me that something was actually happening. And so we continue the rest of my route driving around, just kind of like watching, now actually like paying attention to the sky. I believe later in the evening as we drove around, there was something else we saw. That was the one that was prominent. And I think I had another hour and a half left in my shift, and we were done, went home, and we were standing outside on the driveway facing, it was facing north. And she was standing there looking at me. I was looking out the driveway north, which is kind of over all the rest of the town and downtown and everything there. And there were planes in the sky. Like, you could see, like, we had a, you know, good-sized airport nearby. And so you'd see planes flying through the sky. You were very accustomed to that. And so you knew what that looked like. Those were in the sky for comparison already. I remember I looked up and I was like, oh my God, there it is. And she turns around, and that point of light is off in the distance. And you could tell that it was like moving toward us, but like at a very, like at a slight angle. So it was like kind of moving toward us. And then at a certain point, it stopped, like on a dime. It didn't actually stop. It literally just changed directions and went upwards and away. And it went very fast. As it did, the light like turned like more towards red, and then just disappeared as it accelerated. And it was gone. And we were both like looking at it, and I go, holy shit. I was like, did you see that? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, that's the clearest, most convincing UFO I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it, because it was just a single point of light moving across the sky, and then boop, just shot upward and disappeared. It was kind of crazy. I had never seen anything like that. I had seen other UFOs, but nothing that clear as day. And especially when we had already seen the one from before. So it was kind of similar to what you see in the beginning of this video here, where they say this is sped up, and this point of light
Nice clear sighting for a change.
it's stopping and like imitating a star in the background, but then it'll move. And that's what the one we were looking at was doing. It was sitting there like off in the distance behind the street light. Clear as night. But it was just a point of light in the sky that looked like it should be a star, but it was like, if you were paying attention, you're like, that's too close. And then it just started moving, like this does. It was the same kind of UFO. And then, of course, later, we saw the other side of it, which I believe it was probably the same thing. It probably was like hanging around the area doing its thing, pretending to be a star. Where was it? Was it this one? Yeah, that's crazy. That's like what I remember. Except for when I saw it again, let's say this was the one I was watching. It was kind of like it was there. You're not paying attention, but then suddenly it's there. So it was probably there the whole time. You just didn't realize it because it looked like a star in the background and then started moving. But it started to move when I saw it again. It moved across the sky like this, at a fairly steady, long pace. I mean, like it was a larger span of the sky, but it moved across the sky like this, and then went whoop like that. And as it did that, it changed from like this lighter orangish color to red, and then blink, it was gone. It was like it went to warp or something. It was pretty cool. Anyways,
the video lasts 10 minutes.
but the way he described this and the way you see this move, that was what I saw.
3 individual points of light float over a Disneyland show.
I've seen ones like this too.
Independent movement, so we
just
can
not
rule out
very
a triangular-shaped craft.
clearly.
This can be seen better with stabilization. What some have described as a turtle shell-shaped UFO
It's a turtle.
was captured over Turkey. Here's some background information and opinions the OP added to his post. A reader from Poland who was vacationing in Turkey wrote to me. While relaxing on the beach, she decided to use a feature of her iPhone 13 Pro Max that allows taking a series of quick photos. I believe this is one of the best pictures of a UAP object I have ever seen. These photos were taken on June 20th, 2023. It is not a water droplet or a thrown stone, as we considered such
It's turtle
options.
enough for the
It is
turtle
also
club.
not a camera error. This object was not visible to the naked eye. Though interesting, a single image captured of an unclear object on Earth is not all that remarkable. They certainly can be, but for the most part, the majority
Yeah, I mean,
of
it could be
feasible
like a
explanations. On
helium-filled
Mars, however, the same
bag.
cannot be said. Over the past decade, the Curiosity rover has photographed what looks to be objects in the Martian skies.
Now this,
Obviously, with this
I
planet
find
being
fascinating.
completely void of life, it's hard to imagine what these anomalies could be. These images are available on NASA's website, and you can still look them up yourself. 2 of the anomalies are very similar in shape and could potentially be the same object at different distances. An interesting comparison was made to the gimbal UFO, and I have to say,
Flight of the
objects
Navigator,
do
yeah.
look eerily similar.
See, these ones I like because, first of all, it's on another planet. It'd be kind of hard for there to be somebody out there flying a drone around or having let a saggy balloon go. It's on another planet. It's an official government website where they've published these. So unless they're trying to mess with us, which is a possibility, like there's something there that our rover or whatever detected.
Was made
I
to
love
the
anything
gimbal
having to do with
UFO,
Mars
and
as
I
well.
have to
So,
say, the objects do look eerily similar.
and I mean, you got to think about it. If they're here probing Earth and checking it out, then and they notice that we've got stuff over on Mars, then maybe they're over there checking that out too.
Spotted during a hike in South Africa, 2 UFOs described as tic-tac shaped were recorded off in the distance.
It's always Tic Tac or cigar.
No, this is not a reflection. This is an object flying.
It's faint, but I can see it.
That's incredible.
The second object is a little harder to see. It becomes much
The
more
first one was
apparent
pretty
with
hard
some
to see.
stabilization.
Oh, there we go.
不对，那不是。你过来看，你过来看，你在镜头里看，它真的是 UFO。
The brief video is due to the witness having to run from a rainstorm. Since the objects didn't appear to move, some speculated that it could be reflections from buildings.
How is that a reflection?
哎，这绝对这
After finding the area on Google Maps and having a good scan for any structure that could be the cause, I was unable to find anything. However, the area did have a few large pools of water that could have created a similar effect, but can't really say for sure.
A fruity. Oh gosh.
Now, this footage I quickly dismissed as highly likely to be a drone, so I wasn't even going to include it. But after some surface-level research, from what I've learned, enclosed drones are unable to operate in this way, since they need to displace the air underneath them to achieve lift.
Okay.
Simply put, spherical objects shouldn't be able to move like this. At certain points of the clip, the orb can be seen flashing sporadically, almost as if it's surveying the area.
Huh. That's interesting.
Unfortunately, its movements aren't anywhere near as impressive as other accounts we've heard regarding orbs. No 3,000 mile per hour right-hand turns here. Great sighting nonetheless.
Okay. It's kind of cool looking. Looks like it might be snapping
In
photos.
the wake of this month's NASA UFO study, Gary McKinnon,
That's
the
some
man
pretty
who
good
hacked NASA
mid-journey
computers
AI
back in
art. It got the
2002,
NASA word right.
reinforms us that NASA will never tell us the truth about aliens. Gary claims to have seen thousands of images that prove advanced alien life is very active throughout our solar system. Within the hacked files were spreadsheets detailing off-world non-terrestrial officers, images that show detailed cigar-shaped crafts, and what are
is this
soon to be
cigar-shaped?
habitable domes located in Earth's orbit. In a direct quote, Gary stated, "It's a fact that there are objects we don't understand flying around in our skies. It's also a fact that there are scientific, intelligence, and military departments that study these." Information gathered
Space
also
Force?
helped to reinforce claims made a year prior to the hack by ex-NASA photographic expert Donna Hare.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Donna Hare, and I worked at Philco Ford Aerospace from
She was probably kinda hot 10
1967
years
to
ago.
1981. During that time, I was a design illustrator, draftsman for NASA. We were a contractor, but most of the time I worked on site, in Building 8. I had the opportunity to do extra work during downtime, and I walked into a photo lab, which was the NASA lab across the hallway. I had a secret clearance, which is not that high, but I was able to go into restricted areas, which this was. At the time, I was talking to one of the techs in there, and he drew my attention to a photograph, a NASA photograph. It had a dot on it, and I said, "What is that?" And I said, "Is that a dot on the emulsion?" And he said, and he's smiling, and he has his hands crossed, and he said, "Round dots on the emulsion don't leave round shadows on the ground." I did not know what this was. I asked him, "What are you going to do with this piece of information?" And he said, "We always airbrush these out before we sell them to the public." I'm willing to testify before Congress that what I'm saying is true, and thank you very much.
During the hack, Gary made sure to investigate her claims further. This is what he had to say about his findings. A NASA photographic expert said that there was a Building 8 at Johnson Space Center, where they regularly airbrushed out images of UFOs from the high-resolution satellite imaging. I logged on to NASA and was able to access this department. They had huge, high-resolution images stored in their picture files. They had filtered and unfiltered or processed and unprocessed files. A warrant is still active for Gary's arrest. If he's ever caught by U.S. authorities, he will be sentenced to roughly 70 years.
Jesus.
You've probably heard by now about the Mexican alien story that went viral last month. If you didn't, a brief summary is that, quote, alien bodies were claimed to have been found inside a Peruvian mine. The bodies were rolled out at a UFO meeting and then subjected to DNA testing and CT scans to figure out if they were real. There's a lot of debate surrounding the authenticity of these bodies, with the common consensus being that the bodies are most likely a hoax. The whole case is too detailed to go over in this video. So if you'd like to hear more, I'll leave a link in the description to the video I made that gets into the weeds of it. A somewhat decent month of sightings, lots for us to deliberate over, but sadly nothing exceptional. I feel I may have gone a little hard on the speculation, but I think honest analysis is important. We want real sightings, and the only way to get
Well,
them is to
unfortunately, what
filter
you're
out
going to
the
find
explainable.
is there's
Anyway,
going to be a
that's
lot
it
of
for this
overlap
month.
in
Thanks for watching.
any the government is covering up stuff crowd. Because these are crowds that, regardless if they necessarily have an interest in or believe what the other crowds believe, the distrust of government aspect like draws a lot of these people to be in the same circles, I feel like. So saying, okay, NASA's covering up this, yeah, I think that would have a lot of the same people, except other than the fact, like, I don't know, the flat earth thing is just weird. I think what's weird to me is the trust the government people. You're like, I'm not a flat earther, but I can at least empathize with the whole they don't trust a government agency. But I'm not going to side with them on the flat earth thing. Be like, yeah, can't trust NASA. Can't trust the government. Oh my God, some of the things. Tucker Carlson broke in tears. Antarctica is not what we're being told. Right, and then that's the demon holograms crowd. Yeah. Hey, we could live watch this live guy watch stuff. And then somebody will go tell him, like, hey, this guy? He's like live streaming your live stream watching stuff. Some of these channels, did people ever think about what they were calling themselves? Liveception, yeah. Well, I did that with my channel earlier. Watch. Now watch it. This is gonna be good. I mean, I'm live streaming my live stream. That counts. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's still happening down there too. You just can't see it, but it will forever continue opening new windows. And then, oh, there's my mouse moving. That's weird. I can see. That's great. Each one is going to do the same motions. Yeah, it's a hall of mirrors. It like will forever continue opening into infinity. fascinating. And then if you saw it on my computer, you see this, but then the other side of the screen is my Streamlabs monitoring that and showing the same thing. So my computer screen is just covered with mirroring of my stream. But I think it's amusing. Chaos Moogle, really? You were making a YouTube channel and you're apparently verified, I think. Yeah. And that's the name you stuck with? That's weird to me. Start crawling toward it. Yeah, great. All right, I'm going to open this though and see. They've got 500,000 subscribers.
Y'all, we're back with some more insane UFO sightings, starting with a mass sighting that occurred last year in Japan. I love this sighting because it's happening on a highway, and according to the source, a few people stopped and recorded this.
So what are
I'm
the other
hoping
videos?
is, since we're starting to see it now, that we'll get other footage of this object from other angles from other drivers in the highway. Still, I find it very strange and honestly kind of mesmerizing. It reminds me of the one that we saw falling in South America that looked like it was, it had a little tail to it or whatever was like kind of beaming on the bottom. It looks very similar to that one. Next, we have this sucker right here.
This
Look at
sucker.
him. He is hiding out. You saw how he just flew in and now he's pretending to be a star. This happened September 30th in Tennessee just after midnight. This video is
I
about
do like
10
this UFO
minutes
site because
long,
that's so.
but it is sped up so that you can see the movement of this UFO. Or like, watch it stop here. Pretend
like,
to be a
boop, just
star.
dead stop.
And then just dip away. It is absolutely wild. I love that video. Next, we're going to be covering some of the lights that are occurring in London. Again, I've covered these types of lights before. I feel like they might be spotlights, but we're seeing a lot of video come up from London, different people, different parts of the country, really confused as to what's going on. This one I posted because I find it interesting. Although the person who posted it said it was a jet, this does not look like a jet to me.
Yeah, it does.
And this one from Miami baffles me. It was just posted. The person has
What the
no
hell?
idea what the hell it is. At first, they saw the big object and thought it was a blimp. And then they realized it wasn't moving at all. And then they started recording. They realized the lights aren't actually blinking. They're just steady. And they don't know what the hell this is. It could be one of ours. I mean, it looks like something we would make. It does almost look like a
Well,
blimp.
Dink Jedi was.
But they said it's not making any noise. It wasn't moving. It just appeared, and they have no idea what the hell it could be. I have no idea. Anyone in the comments, please let me know what you think that is. Y'all, smash like and subscribe. I will see you next time.
How does this guy have 500,000 subscribers? What is going on here? UFO sightings, UFO sightings, UFO sighting. I talk about UFOs. And paranormal stuff and how does it get? My power keeps going out ever since that UFO video. I'm gonna watch that.
My power has been going out more frequently every time I'm about to post. And the power just went out again while I was trying to make an update to that UFO
Oh my God.
video. This is getting crazy. Literally, the power went out 5 times last night, starting at like around 8 or 9 p.m. Didn't come back till 9 this morning. The power has gone out like 5 times in a row. No explanation. What the fuck? It's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Now, as I finish up this video, bloop, power gone. I can't. There's no light.
There's no light, he
What
says
the
in a
hell is
bright
going on here?
freaking room.
This is so creepy to me. I checked the fuse, I checked everything, and then it's what's weirder is that it's not
Oh my
just
God.
me.
Why are we looking at your teeth?
Because I heard my neighbors questioning it as well. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Is this?
I
Are
don't know,
you in
it's
California?
Kind of creepy though.
Because this just happens
Oh,
there.
it just came back. It just came back. I don't know if you heard the beep, but that was my microwave saying, "Hey, I'm back on." Yes. This is so weird. Oh God, it kind of scares me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm so exhausted. I don't know if like the new channel, or a Reddit, or a Patreon, or anything can save. I feel like I've opened Pandora's box.
I'm.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like this person lives in
This
California.
has been so exhausting. Like the power just went out again and came back, and I'm like scared.
And if that's
of
the
it going
case,
out. And yes, you might see this remixed into the UFO misinformation campaign video that's
location
on the new
United
channel.
States.
Just
Hey, they
because
play.
I'm kind of
They
judging
play on
videos to
PlayStation.
Try to go under Google's
Tomcat,
radar so they don't
if you want to
kill me
add them.
for posting this. I don't know what the hell is going on with these people.
Groovy
Thank
Tony.
you guys for all love and support. Remember, all of the
I'm just like,
new UFO
look, yo,
videos
if you
will
live
be
in
on that new
California,
channel, but I
the
will
power
still
just
be
kind of goes out
posting on this
because.
channel.
No thanks.
I think I need a nap. Smash like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully.
So weird. So. Something I'm considering doing. I don't think it'll be tonight, but I'm thinking about doing a DSP stream. It feels like something I need to do. I've been one of the reasons I started streaming was because I watch a lot of these different streamers. I mean, I feel like I know enough about the situation. I should be able to commentate on it pretty well, but it just feels like something I gotta do. Join the detractor stream. Like I don't want it to be what my channel is, because my channel is like many different things, many different subjects, especially for like streaming and stuff. But it just feels like at least once, if not just like here and there, I want to just be. I'm bored. I want to do a detractor stream. Especially if he's going to be playing like an online multiplayer game or something where I can nitpick him or, watch the salt and the rage. Just feels like something that would be kind of fun. Remember when History Channel was something legitimate? Join him a game. That would be kind of difficult because the only multiplayer games he plays Street Fighter 6, which I do play, but I would never encounter him because he is at a very high rank and I'm absolute trash. So yeah, I would probably never encounter him in Street Fighter. And the only other one I know of that he's like does play or is going to play is Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 3 that's about to come out. But I don't play that. I play Warzone because first of all, I like the battle royale aspect, but it's also free. And I think he plans to play some battle royale. I did back when he was playing Warzone like a year ago or something. I did play consistently at that time, and I would know he was playing because I'd be watching a stream like Piece of Peace or something, and I'd be like, okay, well, if I just keep playing, maybe I'll end up in the lobby with him or something. And that never happened. You gotta remember, there's thousands, tens of thousands, and players all at once. So it would be kind of hard to actually try to get into something with him. But it would be hilarious. Bob Lazar. But I feel like
Bob Lazar, a name synonymous with
it's kind of part of my content creation origins. I spent so much time watching detractor content, and then I was like, I can commentate on stuff too, a water engine. So one of these times, depending on what my work schedule is, I might actually see. I'm going to start this while I take a look.
Extraterrestrial discourse stands as a polarizing figure in the UFO community. His audacious claims about classified government projects and extraterrestrial technology have both intrigued and divided enthusiasts for decades.
Okay. Just making sure this wasn't
As
like a
Lazar
History
breaks
Channel
his
program or something.
long-held silence, anticipation swells, offering a renewed hope for clarity amid a cosmos of unanswered questions. The early whistleblower. In the late 1980s, a seemingly unassuming man named Bob Lazar emerged from the shadows
Bob
with
Lazar.
claims that would reverberate through the UFO community
So I'm
and
off
beyond.
Wednesday.
Lazar alleged that he had been employed at a secretive government
Wednesday,
installation
Thursday, Friday.
known as S4, located close to the infamous Area 51 near Groom Lake in Nevada.
And
It was
of
here,
course,
according
because
to
he's
Lazar, that he worked on reverse
artistic.
engineering extraterrestrial technology.
My name's Bob Lazar. I'm known for working at a classified base known as S4 out in the Nevada desert near Area 51.
Near
And
Area
there-
51.
We reverse engineered alien spacecraft.
Lazar's initial claims were nothing short of sensational. He described 9 different spacecraft, asserting they were of extraterrestrial origin.
Actually 9 flying
This is
saucers,
slow.
flying discs that are out there.
I also
of
have a plan to get
extraterrestrial origin.
to upgrade my computer.
One craft, which he referred
Not
to
anytime
as the
soon, but
sport
there's
model,
a plan.
was powered by a reactor that utilized
Come
an
on.
element which at that time was unknown to public scientific knowledge, element 115. This element, Lazar claimed, was capable of generating anti-gravity effects, allowing the spacecraft to achieve
Whoa, that's
maneuvers that
cool.
defied conventional.
Check that. What's going on here? Stream still good? Okay, I think everything's still running. I think my internet hopefully doesn't have any problems. You're offline. Check your connect. Oh God, I was like, oh no. I'm watching the YouTube UFO videos on the site billions of people a day go to. They caught me. It might have just been because
Physics.
this was playing. I was trying to open
add
another
layers
thing.
to his claims, Lazar discussed the compartmentalization of work at S4, suggesting that teams worked in silos, privy only to their specific project's details,
Obviously, they're after
making
me.
it
Oh, he's
hard to
actually
gain a
live
full
right
picture
now.
of the operations. This mode of operation was designed to
He's actually live. He's doing Street Fighter, which he actually. He's like, do it.
Reading my inputs.
Oh boy. Oh, there's a chat I gotta turn off. There we go. I don't want to see that crap. His chat's so dumb. Yeah, inputs. Actually, I think I could full screen Streamlabs now. So that I can focus on that. Oh, there's my chat. That's
He
not good.
counter hit me on fight and immediately did a move to take half my energy bar away.
Well, that's weird. Okay, so it doesn't work. Okay. Never mind. There we go. Let's go back to normal. I was trying to full screen Streamlabs so I could just look at Streamlabs instead of having Streamlabs snapped with the browser.
I'm gonna try one more time and that's it.
Oh, he's almost done.
Itty fucking odic way to end the game.
Itty
So that
fucking
every enemy
odic.
now
What the
can use
hell are
some
these
ridiculous
words?
two-hit win and they all read your inputs and counter hit everything you do. Like, what the fuck kind of morons thought this was a good ending to the game? Right?
Oh my god.
Invest 17 hours and feel like the game's kicking you in the balls constantly at the end. Really
Just FYI, language. Why am I suddenly running so slow? Oh, maybe it's because I have this in like 720/60. Sorry, we're not going to do 60 frames. I've had genuine issues with my controllers in the past, but every time I point them out, I've been afraid I sounded like DSP complaining as an excuse. But I tested them as a sanity check. Yeah. I always love when he sits there and he just hits his controller. Because he has one of those fight pads, or whatever they call it, fight sticks. The pros use. He's playing on PS5 for some reason. And I don't just say that because, like, I'm an Xbox player. He has all the consoles, right? Typically, for online games, he plays on Xbox. I'm bad at this game. It's obviously the fault of the game. Yeah, that's... I mean, God of War actually... Their developers actually used him as an example of how to make a game handholdy. Or why they need to make a game handholdy. It was like, thanks, Phil. This is what's wrong with current games. You.
He still hit me. Why? I hit him every other time. Now the game says no, he hits you.
I believe Phil is the muscly man over here because, of course. But he's so weird the way he'll like waste money on stuff. He bought Street Fighter 6 for Xbox, okay? If he had bought it for PS5 and then got it for Xbox, I'd think it was just as stupid. Because it's cross-platform. So it doesn't matter which, if you get on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, you still play with the same player pool unless you turn off cross-platform.
Lunacy that these morons who made this thought that this would be a good way to end the game. You have to be stupid.
Oh, he's playing... He's playing, like, the campaign thing. He's not even playing online. I didn't even realize that. Phil is the mus... I never thought I'd hear the word Phil is the muscly man. Yeah, well... He has this tendency to avoid female characters, especially ones that are attractive in video games. And, so, yeah. You'll typically find him playing the muscly dudes. Because he's married. He's happily married, so he doesn't look at other women. It makes him uncomfortable like a 12-year-old virgin. Anyways. Yeah, so when this first came out, he bought it on Xbox.
Okay, it just randomly hits when you have him, you're open, you're kicking it. It hits you anyway. It hits you anyway.
What?
Even when you timed it right, it hits you anyway. You fuck this. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to go back and finish it now. I'm being honest. I don't want to waste any more time. I don't want to grind. I just want to play it, and you can't even just play it the way they did the ending.
So he had it on Xbox, right? I think he bought like the
now you're telling me at the end of the game you want me to
like
grind. Fuck you.
the collector, the deluxe edition or something. I don't remember if he actually did that, so don't quote me. But either way, he bought the game on Xbox and he like mastered one or two of his characters, like got them like to the full rank or whatever. And then for some reason decided to also buy it on PlayStation. I'm like, who does that? You're constantly on stream talking about how you don't have money for stuff and how there's all these games you have to buy and you need your people to support you and all that stuff. And then for some reason you're being frivolous in buying the same online multiplayer game that has cross-platform for 2 different platforms. What's going on? Why is my internet doing this? It doesn't want to be live for some reason. So that's fine. My computer is running slower than... There's nothing going on. Blew it all in Burgos.
Yep. The game has no idea how to handle drive impact.
I think the game probably knows how to handle its own features, but okay. Why is everything so... Because even Streamlabs, my stuff is kind of laggy. I don't know. But Yeah, it's really weird to me. Like I said, I would say the same thing if he bought it on PlayStation first and then bought it on Xbox. It doesn't make any sense. It's cross-platform. So regardless of which platform you own it for, you're going to have the same player base. I don't know. But then he has the fight stick or fight pad or whatever they call it. I'm a noob when it comes to fighting games. So essentially it's like a big table thing that sits on your lap and has like buttons and a stick like an arcade machine, because that's like kind of the right way to play a fighter. And it's hilarious because he sits there. I don't know if he wanted the trophies. What was his excuse? There was some stupid reasoning he had for it, and it was dumb too, because the one thing that doesn't carry over, obviously, between platforms is like your save, like your profile, like your online stats and all that stuff carry over. But if you've mastered a certain character, like got them the full rank online or whatever, that doesn't carry over between platforms. So he has to go redo all that work over again. What is it having such a problem? I don't normally have this issue.
So that's it. All right. So we will continue next time. It looks like we're gonna have to do another stream, and it looks like every fight.
This is the World Tour mode of Street Fighter 6. It's kind of like the single player campaign.
Every fight will probably have to be played like that.
Which doesn't serve a whole lot of purpose unless you're.
That's what you gotta do. Get them, just do one combo, get them to the corner. And
unless you're like a fighting game noob, it kind of helps you in that way. And if you don't want to play online, but he's not a fighting game noob, and he does play online.
It's been a ride. 17 hours into this mode. When we play this next,
the point of it is essentially to unlock the extras for the characters, like,
you guys will join me for the wild
and teach you how to play the
finale.
characters.
Whenever I get to do it, I don't know if it'll be this.
So it's
week or
weird
not.
that he actually plays this as a stream.
But looks like we will finally get to the end of this game next time around. All right, everyone. Thank you to everyone who was here tonight and chilled. Thanks to anyone who supported the stream tonight. Until next time for the finale. Peace out.
Peace out. See, and this is where he cuts it, and then he starts begging in a point that's not recorded.
Thanks for chilling with me tonight.
Did you see what he did there?
By the way,
like when he leaned over and he said, "All right," and he leaned. That was him stopping his recording for his upload, and so now this is what's called an unrecorded beg segment. So this doesn't go into the upload of his live stream.
It did save, right? There's no manual save in this mode. And it will be Super Mario Brothers Wonder on the late shift. Then
wait, was he playing on Xbox now?
Tuesday.
What the hell? So he's playing the World Tour mode on Xbox.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder on the first.
This guy's so confusing.
Spider-Man 2 on the late shift. Okay. On Wednesday, I'm going to play one of those. I'm not sure which yet.
Whichever one's going to make more money.
The night stream on Wednesday is up in the air. It could be the conclusion of this game, or we could just opt to keep doing the new releases, and we can save the finale of this game for later. I don't think there's any rush. I'm happy that we're now at the end. You know what I'm saying?
How many people are watching this right now?
So we'll
his
see.
284 streamers. Or viewers.
5 freaking streams that I'm doing.
Apparently I can't see the likes because I'm not logged in.
Spider-Man and Mario. And these games are very, very good. They are outstanding games. So I cannot wait to play more of them.
To level 1,
with
but
all of you
wrong
long,
freaking
right?
scene.
So tomorrow I'll be here for the podcast in the morning. You'll join me for that. And then tomorrow night it will be tomorrow day stream Spider-Man, and tomorrow night fun with Mario. All right, and I want to say thanks. Great streaming day today. If you didn't see the
God, there's his face.
The React stuff earlier, 2 videos are live on DSP Reacts. The rest will be going live 1 a day for the rest of the week on the channel. And
stupidity and extreme narcissism.
Dr. Sleep, and I will review that tomorrow on DSP Reacts as well. So we'll have a new horror movie review. I might or may not do another one by the end of the week. It really depends on if I have time to watch another horror movie or not this week. We'll see. But thank you all. All right, great streaming day. I had a good time with all of you. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you will join me.
I rock back and forth
on
the X and Y axis.
New release coverage. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much. Have a good night, and I will see you all in the morning.
Stop staring at yourself.
The Level 1 podcast, and of course, Spider-Man. Sound good?
He keeps looking away from the camera because he's looking at himself in this.
See you later.
This is the part where, because I'm so used to watching Piece of Peace. so used to watching Piece of Peace streaming these, where as soon as he disappears off the screen, Piece of Peace does his little outro thing. So I was waiting for that to appear. I was like, oh, I'm actually on DSP Gaming's stupid page. The reason I was coming here, though, is I wanted to look at his schedule, because he posts it constantly like an artist. Where's his community? Where's my music? I left that behind because I was lagging. But yeah, like it's I feel this draw to legitimately do a DSP live stream, restream, excuse me. Let's just jump up here somewhere. I feel this draw, though, to do that, even though it's not really what my channel is meant to be. Like, it's not a detractor channel, but I feel like in between other content and other streams, like I could throw one in here and there just for fun, because I feel like I would enjoy doing that. Yeah, so this right here, he's talking about on tonight's late stream, we head into end-game content of the Street Fighter 6 World Tour Story Mode. The point of the World Tour Story Mode is, it's kind of what drew me into Street Fighter 6 besides Jury. The point of the World Tour Mode is essentially to unlock cosmetics and alternate outfits and colors and stuff for the characters that you're going to play online. Because that's basically, when you play Street Fighter 6, you're either playing like the arcade mode, where you're like going through, you know, a bunch of the other fighters, but they're NPCs, or you're playing online against people, right? That's the point of it. It's a fighting game. They created the World Tour Mode as a way for like noobs and normies like myself when it comes to fighting games to have something to draw them in and kind of get them accustomed to playing the fighting game. And I actually thought it was pretty cool. I played it. It's open world, and you kind of progress through these different hubs or areas that are controlled or themed for each character. Like, okay, over here is going to be Luke, and over here is going to be, oh my god, I almost said Connie Chung. Why the hell would I think Connie Chung? Chun-Li. Connie Chung. Wow, that's a name I haven't thought of in 20 years. Chun-Li or Jury, or like all these characters have like an area, like Chun-Li has Chinatown, and you go there and you encounter her, and she gives you like these challenges. You fight her, and then you go around and do a bunch of little missions and jobs in her Chinatown area. And when you complete it all, you like unlock rewards to use elsewhere, but you also you learn your moves and stuff like that. So it's a way to give newbie players for a fighting game something to do that like eases them into playing actual Street Fighter. Because when you do the little story mode, anytime you have an encounter or you're fighting a boss or a character, it goes into like normal fighting game mode. But it's kind of set up like it's an RPG with encounters. So it's a good idea, and it worked. But for someone like DSP, and I'm not saying he's like good at Street Fighter, but he is actually, technically he is, but at his level he's a scrub, basically. He has been playing these games since the 90s. It is his thing, is Street Fighter, and he has done the tournaments and all that kind of BS. So it kind of doesn't make any sense for him to be playing as a stream, except for the fact that he uses it as like basically filler content. Okay, so I think this is his stream schedule here. I gotta figure out why my computer's running slow. I paused updates. Like, I always, before I'm gonna stream, I always go on my laptop like an hour or two before, and I make it run any updates. I turn off anything that I don't want running while I stream, and then pause the updates so nothing starts. Close Discord because it's such a resource hog. All right, so Sunday, that is God, his schedule's so weird. So this was today. So Monday, I'll be working, and Tuesday I'll be working. So I don't think I'll do anything that day. Wednesday, I think I said I'm off Wednesday. Thursday is his day off from streaming this week. When I return on Friday, it's the premiere of Alan Wake 2. Look at this. This man is so obsessed with himself. Anyways. So Wednesday, he's got his... I don't care about the podcast thing. Today's streams are to be determined depending on how the playthroughs go over the course of the week. So what this actually means is how much money he makes from these different games. If... so it looks like he's playing Spider-Man, he's playing Mario, Spider-Man. So yeah, basically as he's playing these games through the week, whichever one is going to start making him more money, like if one is lagging for some reason, then that one's not going to be what he plays this day. If they're both like doing well, he'll play them both again. But yeah, that's what any of this means. Depending on how the playthroughs go, that means like how much money I make. So maybe Wednesday night, because I'm sure he'll update this as the week goes on. Maybe Wednesday night, if I decide to stream, that will be my official debut Detractor stream. I still love that statement. I never thought I'd hear the sentence, Phil is the muscly man. He likes Hulk Hogan. I was about to say other stuff, but I was like, I try to keep my streams like PG-13, but that may not happen. I honestly, if I do, are you gonna do Halloween marathon or is it canceled? Freaking ditheads. Habibi Gaming 9756. What in the hell? Anyways, if I do a restream Wednesday night, then I'll have to make sure I tag it for the content. Because people that follow my channel, this is not what they're going to be expecting to see on my channel. I can tell you that right now. Like DSP, what the hell is a DSP? Or the other thing that could be really weird is if I do a restream of DSP and I find out that some of my followers are dent heads. Ooh, that would be weird. What is this? I love how he just does the random thumbnail. He just goes with it. Look at that face. Look at that. Like, can you... I can't zoom. I need to figure out how Peace does that. There's probably a widget in Streamlabs. I don't know if he uses that or not, but I want to be able to zoom in on that. Or this. Look at this. He just uses the freaking... the randomly generated thumbnail for this stuff. It's always such an awkward face. It's so weird, dude. Yeah, I have a feeling though, like the people that normally watch me, they wouldn't have a clue of who this is, or maybe casually they've heard the name. So if I do a restream on Wednesday, I will definitely have to like tag the stream as like a special thing, and I don't know, it'll be weird. Kind of nervous actually. If I'm going to insert myself into the Detractor community as another content creator in that realm, I'm like, but I've watched all these people for years now, and I mean, I've interacted with him. Piece of Peace, he's my favorite. I have interacted with him on Twitter before I privated my Twitter account. I used to talk to him occasionally on there. So, and then I think once or twice in his live stream chats I have. But I think it'll be fun. It's just something I have to satisfy for myself. This need to do a detractor stream, to do a restream, and then maybe it'll just be like here and there. I do those because, like I said, I don't want to become a detractor channel, but as a content creator, I am also a DSP detractor, so it could be something there. I actually kind of want to watch one of his daily raps because these are always so... I mean, look at the... Yeah, let's go with this. What is happening?
Evening of October 2023. A new release streaming day, an interesting streaming
How's
day.
this sound?
Let's talk because I got a good amount to say about the stuff that we did today. A day that actually we didn't even know what the full schedule was. We kind of discussed it and talked about it. And
He's so all over the place.
During today's podcast.
That's one of the things that really bothers me watching him and tells me there's something wrong is the rocking around and side to side and leaning forward and just like, bro, sit still. And then there's the eye thing.
Podcast today covered my final thoughts on Assassin's Creed Mirage.
He's just so overly expressive with his
nice
head movements
I
and
do
his
feel like I
eyes
had
and stuff.
Mixed feelings about the game, and it was good to get it off my chest, as well as some big developments in the Starfield stream I had done the night before, and many other things. So a good podcast, good discussion. We actually had a big segment about upcoming
where'd you go?
movies and or television shows coming out.
He can't. So this is the thing. The daily wrap, just for context, after he finishes his streams every single day. So in the morning he does his quote unquote podcast, which is basically just him sitting there talking about needing more money. Then he does his 2 streams. And then when he finishes his streams, he does this, the daily wrap, which is usually like 8 to 10 minutes or so of him breaking down the streaming day. But it's literally just reiterating the same crap usually that he said in his podcast, but like in a shortened form while throwing in some stuff about the games he play. It's really weird. Like he makes so much pointless content. Like if you're a DSP fan, like, are you really watching the daily wrap because you aren't going to watch his content? Like, if you're a fan of his, I'm assuming you're somebody who would watch his streams. So do you also need him to tell you what you just watched in the streams that day? It's just really weird to me.
People are interested in seeing me watch and review for DSP Reacts. For example, people suggested certain horror movies and things. They also suggested new series. I guess Invincible Season 2 is going to be coming out on Amazon Video in early November and over the course of the month. And I was like, oh, that could be interesting.
I've seen him give his like reviews of these movies and stuff. His takes are so weird.
An ongoing thing on the channel. So some good ideas there, and a good discussion. Had a good time on the podcast, and then today's big release, if you can't tell, was the release of Sonic Superstars.
If you can't tell, I'm wearing my 23-year-old Sonic the Hedgehog T-shirt that doesn't fit me properly.
The Xbox Series X. So the game is a full retail priced game.
Oh God.
$60 USD. Okay.
USD.
And we started playing it. Initially, I realized it didn't.
You're about to get a great take. Hang on.
Okay. And when we started playing it, initially.
This is where you're about to get a really great take on something. The Phil folding arms and looking off to the side with a little head shake. Like, yeah, I got something to say.
I realized it didn't feel like Sonic Mania, and I thought this was going to be like the spiritual successor to Sonic Mania, only taking the ideas of that game.
Nobody ever said that, nor was it ever promoted that way.
Sonic 4, but translating it into a modern game with better graphics and everything. It feels a little sluggish. It definitely feels like the characters aren't as fast.
Okay. What did you say, Phil? It feels a little wet. Why are we doing that? It feels a little wet. No.
Feels Sonic 4, but translating it into a modern game with better graphics and everything. It feels a little sluggish. It definitely feels like the characters aren't as fast as
every time. Oh my god! And I know I'll do this if I do the restream. Every time he does that thing where he just did right there, I know this because I know somebody that did the same thing right here. He's swallowing snot. That's what's happening right there, and he's constantly doing that.
As feels like the characters aren't as fast.
Swallowing snot. That's what's going on.
Sonic Mania. Not to say that it's a bad thing, but it took a little bit of getting used to. I will be honest with you. I think the first entire 3 worlds were kind of boring. You start off in a very generic world that just doesn't have much interesting elements or anything really.
So after a whole streaming day and you're not live and you're doing a recorded segment that's like 8 to 10 minutes long. Yeah, we call it Phil Burnellism. He does so many weird things in this as a recorded segment. Like I said, it's like 8 to 10 minutes long. After everything you've done for the day, it's no longer live. So you can go use the restroom. You can go blow your nose, get a drink of water, scratch your ass, do whatever you got to do. Get your room situated. Like, what was it earlier in this, like in the first couple of minutes or something? Right there. What's he doing? What is he leaning over out of his chair and grabbing? It makes no sense. So for like 8 or 10 minutes, you can't just freaking sit still and record your segment. You can't like leave everything else alone. He'll sit here and he'll like grab his stupid bottle and suck off it too. Like, it's really weird to me that, I guess I'm accustomed to seeing him like this, but
going on.
It's not like a normal human.
Like that.
Especially, especially like that. Like, again, you couldn't get all the stupid little crap that's your itches and your swallows and gulps and all that and your snorts out of the way before you sat down to record a segment for 10 minutes. Like, you're not live anymore, so you can prep yourself and get through it and be done, and then go back to being gross. Also, this pose.
I can't even remember the second world. I know the third one was like a forest or a tropical area or something like that. It really wasn't until World 4 that I felt the game got
not
much
snort,
better.
but
Which was a
snot
pinball zone,
swallow.
which reminded me a lot of the stage from Sonic 2 Casino Zone. It really reminded me of that, and that was nice. And then kind of got better from there. I'd say like stages 4, 5, 6, 7 as I played through, I was enjoying it more and more.
Bobbling your head everywhere.
Originally, I didn't like the music. It started to get more catchy later on in the game,
oh my
too.
God.
It's really weird.
This is crazy because I'm used to watching Peace watch this stuff, and like so when he does the crap where he touches his face, when Piece of Peace when he's streaming and he watches the daily rap, he does a counter where he counts face touches in the daily rap, and of course the chat bet on different amounts, so every time he touches his face, I'm like waiting for Piece of Peace to call it out. Hardcore deadhead? I'd like to meet a hardcore deadhead.
I didn't like the music. It started to get more catchy later on in the game, too.
Do you mean
it's
denthead?
really weird, because you would think,
wheelchair?
Like, for a game like this, you would want the first stage to catch you and hook you.
Whoa. You want what? You want what happened?
Too. It's really weird, because you would think, like, for a game like this,
snort.
You would want the first stage to catch you.
Dent head, like a dented can. And I'm not laughing at what you said. I'm laughing at what's happening on the screen. But dent head, we call them dent heads. You know, like they got a dent in the head. Or a wheelchair. They're a wheelchair, a dent head. I wish I had to zoom.
You would want the first stage to catch it and hook it.
Do you not think about the crap you're doing? I swear. I swear to God, dude.
You would want the first stage to catch it and hook you. You play Sonic 1, 2, or even 3. The first couple of stages are very catchy, good.
A Steven Seagal fan.
It almost feels like this game is a slow build. And the
I mean, I guess that would depend on what level of Seagal fan we're talking about. Because I guess I could say I like some of it. Ironically, I was Steven Seagal fan.
Nothing like the ones from previous games. There's classic mini games where you're in these like labyrinthian.
See, he can't even stop himself right there. Like he's trying to like do these, albeit awkward, hand gestures. And he still has to like, convenience. I can touch my nose now.
There's classic mini games
right here.
Where you're in these like labyrinthian
nose. And there we go.
Mazes, and you're trying to get and collect
like someone, yeah.
Medals or coins.
But that's literally what they're like, though. I guess it might actually there might be crossover there.
So there are these different optional things to do in the game, two completely different styles. In this game, when you get a Chaos Emerald, you actually earn a new ability.
His dents are. Some of them are definitely like that. Like some of them I think they genuinely love Phil in a weirdo way. Some of them I think have an unhealthy, I'm going to use the word romantic because I don't, but like an unhealthy romantic obsession with him possibly. And then others I think are delusionals. Yeah. Then there's others that they will kind of sort of call him out and criticize him, but then they also just stick with it. And it's like they like the abuse when he like turns toxic on them or something.
And you can have an option to use that ability during gameplay or not, which is kind of neat.
He really has some people gaslit
that you can play
for sure
without the abilities. So I basically forget to use them. I guess there's like
not swallow.
Prompt to tell you when one could usually.
He really likes those motions towards his mouth.
But I keep forgetting about it and basically just ignoring the element. There's 4 characters, and that's nice. That it's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and they all do play a little.
I don't like when people speak like this.
I keep
like
forgetting about it.
Look, I like to say I'm a trained public speaker because of my Jehovah's Witness experiences. And I don't just mean like the door-to-door stuff. I was actually trained to get up in front of hundreds of people and speak and gesture, and not only that, but take information and turn it into a speech and write, basically do speech writing and research and all that kind of stuff. And so I understand the need for body language and gestures and certain eye contact and all these different things. But he is so overly expressive. There's something wrong there. Like, to me, when I see somebody IRL that is overly expressive with the wide eyes and the shaking of the head and, you know, like rocking around, I'm like, is this person on drugs? Statistically speaking, anyone can get some number of people to follow them into hell. This is true. But Phil is also actually a pretty effective manipulator in many ways. Yeah, he has neurotic, almost psychotic movements. Yeah. So like this right here, and I know some people just overemphasize things to some extent, but this thing right here, when he says it has 4 characters and he like wobbles his head around, I can't stand it.
Basically just ignoring the element. There's 4 characters, and that's
Like,
nice.
don't
There's
do
Sonic,
that at
Tails,
me.
Knuckles, and Amy, and they all do play a little bit differently. Although, admittedly, it seems like Sonic is the more basic character that you would want to play if you want to kind of challenge yourself and play it like a Sonic game.
Nice,
All
Traveler.
the other characters seem like cheat code. Like Tails can.
I'm just
fly
dipping my toes
really
into
high
some
before he gets
DSP
tired,
watching
so
here.
you
I
can
might
really
actually do
miss
a
jumps, and you can beat the
restream
entire bosses based
Wednesday
on the
night.
fact that he's so maneuverable. Knuckles, again, he can glide and hit things in the air, and he can climb walls. Amy has a double jump, which alone makes her so
Not
much
suck.
more maneuverable and able to climb things better than most of the rest of the cast.
Can I?
And
Okay, I'll tell you why I know what's happening when he does that. And so, unfortunately, there are many things that this character does that reminds me of my father. So, he was a habitual throat clearer. It was a tick. Like, there was no purpose to it. He was the type of person who would, like, suck the snot down from his nostril or from his sinuses and swallow it. It's freaking disgusting. Yeah. And certain other personality features of this person, unfortunately, remind me of my father.
helps a lot with bosses where normally you wouldn't be able to reach the boss.
I say this all the time. I swear, if my dad had been somehow a streamer, a game streamer, he would have a lot of similarities to Darkside Phil.
You just double jump right into the weak spot. So
that's probably
it seems
one
to
of the
me
reasons
like
he bothers
Sonic's
me so
the
much.
Hardest, and then the other characters
including
are
some
like
of his takes, the
other
way he
levels
thinks
of
about things.
difficulty depending on what stage you're playing.
What are you
Some
doing?
characters
What are you
better
doing, dude?
stages.
You're in a recorded segment. You don't have to sit here and do this. You can mess around with whatever you're doing after you're done.
So I guess if you want the most challenge, play the whole game with Sonic.
So
right?
dumb.
So the thing is, I played for 3 hours, and my initial impression is I do like it, but at the end of the
Not
3
sucking.
hours I played, I beat 7 worlds out of 12.
Out of
There's only
12.
5 worlds left in the whole game, and then there's a battle mode where you build a robot using the
I was
metals
waiting
and
for this
coins you
take on
found in the
Sonic.
single player mode, and that's for online multiplayer, and then there's time attack, and that's it. That's
That's
whole
it.
game.
Yeah, bruh.
And it's
It's a
$60.
Sonic the Hedgehog game. I've been waiting for this take because I knew he had this take because I actually saw it the other day. This is from 4 days ago. I believe I watched this on Piece of Piece live stream. Yeah, snorter. Ugh, snorters. Ugh. And he claims, well, I have a deviated septum. I actually have a deviated septum as well. I don't do this. He or not deviated septum. I have that. He has postnasal drip. I have had postnasal drip before. There are certain things with your health that can exaggerate stuff like that. And he is a very inflamey, gouty person who is out of shape, eats like a pig. He doesn't think he does, but he does. And yeah, he claims that the reason he sits and snorts all the time on stream and stuff is because he has to because of his postnasal drip. And I'm like, do you know how many people I've known that have had something like that and they don't just sit around snorting constantly? Like, go blow your nose or something. Right, the snorting is a choice. It's a choice and a tick. That's the other thing. We've watched him when he did that interview with the Side Scrollers podcast, that big deal that he was on, where it was like the tell all and they grilled him really bad, and it had what's his name? I can't remember. Adam. It had Adam, who was on Tim Pool's show a long time ago and was smart enough to get out of there. Anyways, during that show, I think we were paying attention to it when it was being streamed, and he wasn't snorting throughout that. I think because he knew he couldn't get away with it. Like, it would be called out or something, right? Here, it's like, it becomes like this weird tick for him. And yeah, it's definitely a choice. It's freaking gross. And then people have told him, well, why don't you have a mute button, right? Because he refuses to do anything to actually improve his streams. He thinks improving his stream is putting this stupid picture right here and wearing different clothing for his weirdos. improving his stream would be getting like a stream deck or at least a macro pad or something like that where he could like put a mute on it. So if he's got to like snort or belch, that's the other thing. He belches all the time into the microphone. Just tap the freaking mute button when it's happening. He's like, I don't know what you expect me to do. Just sit here clicking a mute button all the time. Like, anyways, this take on Sonic, I think, is kind of ridiculous because it's like he claims to have been a big fan of the classic Sonic games, and then he's complaining about the price and the length of this game, which don't add up when you compare them to the original. And I'll go on more.
So I thought Sonic Superstars was going to be a playthrough that would take me a long time. I'd be balancing it with the other new releases.
Why
coming out
would
on
playing
Friday.
a Sonic
Looks like I'm
platformer
going
be
to
a playthrough that would
completely
take you a
finish the
long
game
time?
tomorrow. What on earth? $60 for a game you can beat in 6 hours?
Yes, bro. First of all, most people aren't turboing through it to beat it on a live stream. Like the vast majority of people who buy this Sonic game, they're going to play like a level or two. Like there's some people that are going to go hardcore on it, but those people also intend to replay it repeatedly and find secrets and speed run it and you know all this kind of stuff, right? Or maybe do a little co-op with a friend or whatever. So people that are hardcore into Sonic, it's got replayability. They're extremely replayable games. People that are casually into Sonic are going to play like a level or two in a sitting, maybe a world or something, and then turn it off for like a few days and play other stuff. And then they'll go back to it at some point. So there's that. The other aspect...
That sounds like a ridiculous ripoff.
The other aspect that people don't realize, and again, I'm an advocate of games staying the price they are. I think a lot of game production has become very bloated and overly expensive, and then they want to nickel and dime you or you know jump the rates of games and stuff. But think about this: this Sonic the Hedgehog game with modern technology, graphics, gameplay, all that sort of thing, and a modern release is $60 for a 6-hour Sonic the Hedgehog game. I'm pretty sure when these games launched, I don't think this is what I need. Oh, maybe it is. No? Okay. Okay, I was hoping this had show historic prices. Maybe that's what it is. But when these games launched, they were equivalently priced. Sonic. I'm going to try a different search. Not the movie. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, these games that were releasing on the Nintendo and the Genesis and stuff back in the 90s were essentially releasing for equivalent price, or technically would, with inflation, be more expensive than the $60 we spend now on a video game. And you know how long it took to beat like Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Or it was a couple hours. All these games were like a couple hour playthrough back in the day. Because, first of all, there wasn't like saving or any of that kind of stuff. If you died and game overed, you kind of had to start over again. You know, so you were being sent back to the beginning. And people would replay these games constantly. You know, I can't tell you how many times I replayed Super Mario Brothers 3. Even though I had found every single secret and exploit and beaten the game, and yet you still would start the game over and play it again. It was the same thing with Sonic the Hedgehog. The same kind of thing. And back then, it was either equivalent price or actually more expensive with inflation. I can't remember. But it's not like these games when they were releasing in the 90s were like a $20 game. Even if they were $20 back then, that's basically $60 now. And they were a shorter game. So his complaint about being a full retail priced $60 game and it only being 6 hours. Yeah, but it depends on what your expectations of the game are. Starfield is going to give me hundreds of hours of gameplay, and I paid for it with Game Pass, you know? But the cost would be like $60 or whatever. If I'm going to play a Sonic the Hedgehog game, if that's something I want to play and it's $60, I mean, that's what it costs. I'm not expecting it to be a 30 or 40 hour RPG. It's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. It's such a weird take.
I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow.
The difference would be if you bought a game that's in a genre or type of game you expect to be longer with more content, and then it's not, then it's disappointing. But if I buy a Sonic the Hedgehog game or a Super Mario Brothers game or something along those lines, I have an expectation of how long that game's going to be. A million bazillion real?
But going off of what people have told me about the game, I think this may be one of the most disappointing games of the year. Even if the
For who? Anybody else that plays this game is going to know what they're getting into and they're going to have fun with it.
Final 5 stages are outstanding. Is it worth $60? You know, I'm gonna be.
And then he's got to sit here and nervously scratch himself because he's not confident in what his own stupid take.
Just to justify that price tag.
And he's
so
gross.
We'll see what happens tomorrow on the first stream. Tonight's late stream, I decided to do something completely impromptu and unplanned. Street Fighter 6 World Tour mode.
Oh my God, it was so exciting.
August 26th, so almost 2 months since I had played this mode, and I'll be honest with you guys, I had a lot of fun. Last time around when I was playing this, I had unlocked the Dalsim moveset. And so tonight we were going all around the world. We had already unlocked most of the trainers. So it was more about focusing on the story. And we ended up doing more than 2 entire chapters of the story tonight. There was a tournament. There was mysteries to uncover, little twists in the plot and things like that. We did unlock a new trainer, Kimberly, which was nice. We leveled up the Dalsim trainer.
God, the eyes. Jesus, dude.
And abilities from him. It was really fun, and it was a chill time. We had a lot of conversation, which was good. I really enjoyed myself. And the thing is,
that's so great for you.
Done. We're now around 15 hours in, and most people have reported the World Tour mode's about 20 hours long. From what I'm to understand, it's only 15 chapters. That's the whole World Tour, 15 chapters, and you're done.
A million reals is about 24 USD.
We're getting there. Like by the end of tonight, we were at chapter 13.
Chapteen.
So we're almost done with it. And people were like, wow, you actually came back to this. Are you going to keep playing it? And I'm like, I always told you guys.
He always says this too, right? Here's the funny thing. I feel like he doesn't realize we watch his chat. If you watch a Piece of Peace restream or some of the other restreamers, they put his chat on the screen. And I sit there and if you watch his stream and watch their conversations and their interactions and what he's saying, and then he says stuff like this.
Playing it, and I'm like, I'm done with it. And people were like, wow.
And people were like, wow, you're playing this again. Who? He always says this, and people said this, and people were like this. And then if you go back and watch the chat from his streams, you're like, nobody was ever saying that. Did one guy randomly say that? Because nobody else was. It wasn't a thing.
And I'm like, I always told you guys I was going to beat the story of this game. It was just a matter of when. I know we're 4.5 months into the game being out, but we're finishing it one way or another.
Oh, we're finishing it, man. To the bitter end.
I will definitely keep my eyes peeled for open night streams, and if we have an open night stream with really not that much,
what are you doing? Stop.
I'll toss this in there, probably 1 to 2 more sessions, so we can wrap it up because I want to see how it ends. In fact, we had big plot developments on who the big villain is now in this mode, so I'm excited to see how that comes to fruition. Anyway, it was a great stream.
Comes to fruition.
I had a good time today. Support was decent. I mean, the night stream.
Oh God, here we go. Support was decent. The what did I relate him to? Like a PBS fundraising marathon. That's DSP's life. His entire product is essentially being like a PBS fundraising marathon.
Was decent for Sonic, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, people are giving you money for nothing, so don't complain.
Tomorrow is my final consecutive streaming day of the week, and tomorrow
and the significance of this is
how Sonic ends if we beat it. I think we might. I think we have a very good chance of beating Sonic tomorrow, which is sad if they're
Keep
really
rocking.
charging $60 for a 6-hour game.
Bro,
Find
what
out.
the hell?
And then tomorrow night's late stream.
Like, who just
is more
swings from
Starfield,
side to
which
side
I'm
like that? That's
actually
crazy.
genuinely really excited for, because last time when we played it yesterday, we had all new story elements that were unlocked, and
Leave
the
your
story
face
really
alone.
advanced in a big way. And I'm curious where that story is going to go now, because they're actually.
I know this is such. Oh my god, this is such a piece of piece thing to do, but I can't not see it because of watching piece of piece.
And then tomorrow night's late stream is more Starfield, which I'm actually
And,
genuinely
okay,
really
so
excited
watch.
for, because last time when we played it yesterday, we had all new story elements.
Picks
that
his
were
arm.
unlocked.
So he reaches over here, picks his arm, then he comes up here and he just like mashes into his nose grease, and then watch his hand, follow his hand. What
And
happens?
the story really advanced in a big way.
Swipe.
And I'm curious where that story is going to go.
And now
because
there's
there actually is so much
and we're
going on
back.
in it. So tomorrow should be a good day. Will we
And now he's
finish
gonna
Sonic?
do
How
whatever
does it
with his
end? Is it
hands.
that short? How will the story advance in Starfield? Will
You
it be
can't not
exciting?
do those
See
things for the
exciting
10
right
minutes
now.
you're doing
I hope
this
you'll join me
this
for my
daily rap.
streams tomorrow. Remember, Thursday's my day off this week, but this coming Friday is a double
Scratching
new
head
release
'cause we
premiere,
don't wash.
Spider-Man 2 as well as Super Mario Wonder, and
Smear the
it
grease back.
sadly is looking like we're probably going to finish up Sonic tomorrow, which means it would just be those two games as the major focus for the week. And what I would maybe do is balance those games with maybe some Street Fighter or
There's an
Starfield.
owl
over the
hooting
week, since
really
it looks
loud
like there'll be
outside.
time now, because we won't be balancing 3 new releases anymore. So I guess we'll see how it goes.
Rock,
all right?
rock,
But
rock.
I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. And it was a great streaming week, and I'm excited to see how it all ends tomorrow. All right, so thank you all. Great streaming day.
Oh my
I had a
God, I
good
hate when it
time.
does that
We'll be
clapping.
back tomorrow with more. Oh, by the way, for the record,
With
we did have the Sonic hat today, which was exciting. I told you guys.
Oh my
We had a
God.
quiz goal during the
He's so happy because they gave him enough money to put this stupid hat on.
Sonic game. I would wear the hat. Thankfully, we hit it today, which allowed us to see the Sonic hat for the first time in many years. Tomorrow, but it looks like that might be the last chance, because it looks like we're finishing the game tomorrow. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Please have a good night. Be safe. See you tomorrow for my final day of the week and some fun gaming stuff. Peace out. I'll see you all then.
Well, maybe it is stupid, but it's also dumb.
Well, there's that. Now I got a little taste of it. Got a little taste of detractorism on the stream. Yeah, like I said, this is not a detractor channel. That's not the point of my YouTube, but at the same time, there's something in my DNA. I have to do it. So, let's see. When did it start? I started, and it was really casual. Like with my YouTube channel, was like super casual for the first almost year of the content I would do. It'd be like once a month or so I would record myself in my car talking, or something like that, right? But I think it was in either late 2020 or early 2021. I think it was early 2021. I got sick, like a bad stomach bug, not COVID or anything at all, of course. But I got a bad stomach bug, and at this time we still had all these weird protocols at work. If you didn't go take a test to show it wasn't COVID, and if you didn't get a doctor's note or anything like that, well, actually no, they weren't making us do doctor's notes because of like everything that was going on. So if you called out, you called out. It wasn't held against you, basically. Anyways, I called in one day and I said I had this. I felt like a stomach bug. I had thrown up a whole bunch. I was feeling like shivery and stuff, but that was because of my body, dealing with whatever was in my guts and having thrown up violently multiple times. So I was feeling terrible, right? And I was like, I can't come into work. And she's like, well, she said if you have the vax, if you show proof that you have that, or that you go get a test that's negative, you can come back to work 48 hours after your symptoms are gone away. And I'm like, okay, well, and this lady knew where I stood, but she was, just going with the protocol, right? And I remember I went, well, neither of those things is happening. And she goes, okay, well, we'll see you in 10 days, and hung up. So I was out of work for 10 days, which was actually really good, because for probably 5 days, I barely left my bed. I was just like so sick. And I had stomach cramps and all this stuff going on. So I spent half the day in bed and the other half basically in the shower, trying to relax my muscles and feel better, right? For some reason in that time frame when I was basically just sleeping and laying in bed all the time, YouTube randomly started suggesting to me Darkside Phil detractor content and Wings of Redemption detractor content. And I think I might have randomly, casually, I think because of Gundam, it's a Gundam, I had heard of Darkside Phil before, but I didn't really know who it was or why he referenced him, right? But Gundam's like an old schooler when it comes to Phil. So I started watching all these random detractor channels, Snort Hogan, or Snort Burnell, or one of those. There was Shinko Fleur, I think was one I watched. There was a bunch of them, right? And I started watching this stuff, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this stuff, right? I had never seen this kind of content before. So I ended up, for that entire 10 days that I was sick, just somehow the YouTube algorithm said, hey, you're going to be into this, right? This was the beginning of 2021. And ever since then, I have been really into watching all this detractor stuff, especially with Darkside Phil, and on the side sometimes Wings of Redemption, because he's a whole other one. But I dug into their history, why they were who they were, all this kind of stuff, right? So it's my version of reality TV, basically. Except I think it's far more entertaining. So, anyways, long history of watching this whole community, several different streamers. There's this one guy, what's his, let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, Soma Julius Cruz. It's cool too, because it's such a diverse community, in how people handle content. Some people do edited content that's satirical, obviously, but sometimes it doesn't even need to be satirical. But then other people do the live restreams. Other people, there's been this thing for many years, ever since he started doing game playthroughs, called This Is How You Don't Play. And I think that spread to other people as well, but that's the origins of This Is How You Don't Play. Is essentially people took his footage of his playthroughs of games and added additional stuff to it, or did edits and stuff like that to point out just how terrible he was at these things. And so Soma Julius Cruz, I will watch him sometimes like this right here, do a Let's Tolerate, and he'll run for 4 or 5 hours at night, in a night, where he's watching multiple different This Is How You Don't Plays, and he'll commentate over those. So that's pretty cool, or it's amusing to me anyways. So he's Let's Tolerate Pig Roach Isolation. So he's probably playing Alien Isolation or Lord of the Begging. So that would be Lord of the Rings, I think. But yeah, lots of great references to various film memes and history and stuff like that. But so there's all kinds of different angles. There was Shinko Fleur was one that I watched a lot early on. I haven't watched in a while. He had some really good takes, but then there were other things that bothered me. Does he still do Phil's day off. DSP's day off. The worst stories on YouTube. Watch. Oh my god. DSP, the child, serves up whiffs excuses. Yeah, so he's still doing content. Okay. But what he was doing before was he was just commentating the podcast thing. So yeah, there's like a different angle from everybody in this like community, the detractor community. And like I said, I've interacted with it and talked to some of these people before. Piece of Peace is by far my favorite streamer in the detractor community, but there's all kinds of like other content and stuff. And so now I feel like it's going to be my turn to do something. Like that's not what the channel will be, but I want to be involved. I want to play. Either way, gonna wrap it up here, and I think for now we'll just go ahead and plan on Wednesday night, because I work the next 2 nights. So unless there's some kind of crazy fluke, I'm just not gonna stream on nights I work. But I'm off Wednesday, and we'll see what he is streaming, because I might turn that into a restream. Go down the rabbit hole. Anyways, it was fun being back, and if anybody watches the video on demand later, subscribe for more. It should get more regular again. Go down the fill. No, I don't want to go down the fill hole.